Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly felt like everyone noticed you, even when no one said anything or made a small mistake, and felt like it was much bigger than it actually was, as if people were silently watching and judging every move you made? Because that feeling, as strange as it seems, is not just in your imagination, but is actually created by your brain in a very real and predictable way. And the unsettling part is that your brain is doing this automatically, without asking you, which means even when nothing is happening, your mind can still create the feeling of being watched. And what makes it even more interesting is that most people around you are experiencing the exact same thing at the same time. Each person believing they are the center of attention while everyone else is too focused on themselves to notice. Yet your brain does not see it that way because it is constantly building a version of reality where you are more visible, more noticeable, and more important in the moment than you actually are. And that distortion, although it feels uncomfortable, comes from a system in your brain designed to protect you. This effect is known in psychology as the spotlight effect, and it happens because your brain is naturally centered on your own experiences, meaning everything you see, feel, and think is processed from your point of view. So when something happens to you, your brain assumes it is just as noticeable to everyone else, even though in reality most people are too distracted by their own thoughts and concerns to pay close attention. And studies have shown that people consistently overestimate how much others notice their mistakes, appearance, or behavior, which means that the feeling of being watched is often much stronger than the actual attention you receive. And this happens because your brain is constantly scanning your environment for social signals, trying to detect approval, rejection, or threat, since for most of human history, being judged or excluded by a group could have serious consequences. So your brain developed a system that prioritizes social awareness, making you more sensitive to how others might perceive you, even when there is no real danger. And this sensitivity can make small moments feel amplified, like dropping something in public or saying the wrong words, because your brain treats those moments as important events that need attention, even though most people will forget them within seconds. But here is where it becomes even more interesting, because this system does not turn off easily, especially in quiet environments or unfamiliar situations where your brain has less external information to focus on, so it begins to fill in the gaps by imagining what others might be thinking, which can make the feeling of being watched even stronger. And this is why places like elevators, classrooms, or quiet rooms can feel more intense, because the lack of distraction allows your thoughts to become louder and more noticeable, creating the illusion that everyone else is also paying attention, when in reality they are likely experiencing the same internal focus. And the surprising truth is that this feeling, while uncomfortable, is actually a sign that your brain is working as designed, trying to help you navigate social situations and avoid negative outcomes, even if it sometimes overestimates the situation. Which means the next time you feel like all eyes are on you, it may not be because people are watching, but because your brain is trying a little too hard to make sure you belong, reminding you that sometimes the strongest spotlight you feel is not coming from the outside world, but from your own mind.